The fall of Singapore on February 15, 1942, was one of the most shocking defeats in British military history. Often called the Gibraltar of the East, Singapore was seen as an impregnable fortress, yet it fell in just a week after Japanese forces launched their assault. The surrender of over 80,000 British, Australian and Indian troops to a much smaller Japanese force marked the worst military capitulation in British history and reshaped the balance of power in Asia during World War II. 1. The Japanese invasion of Singapore. After sweeping through Malaya in just 2 months, Japanese forces, led by General Tomoyuki Yamashita, crossed the Johor Strait on February 8, 1942. The attack came from the northwest, a direction the British had not fortified as they expected an assault from the sea. Key events in the battle included Japanese bombardment, continuous air raids and artillery fire weakened British defenses and morale. Rapid land advances, Japanese forces quickly captured strategic positions, including Tenga Airfield and Bukit Timah, cutting off supplies. Water shortages and civilian panic. The destruction of key reservoirs caused a crisis within the city, further pressuring the defenders. 2. Why did Singapore fall so quickly? Underestimation of the Japanese. The British assumed Singapore's strong naval base made it untouchable but failed to prepare for a land invasion. Lack of air and naval support. The Royal Air Force had been largely destroyed in Malaya, and the sinking of HMS Prince of Wales and HMS Repulse left Singapore defenseless at sea. Superior Japanese tactics. The Japanese used speed, deception and psychological warfare, forcing British troops into constant retreat. Weak and disorganized defenses. The British forces, commanded by General Arthur Percival, were outmaneuvered and demoralized, lacking proper coordination. 3. The surrender and its aftermath. By February 15, 1942, British forces were out of options. With food, ammunition and water running low, General Percival surrendered to General Yamashita at the Ford Motor Factory. The consequences were devastating. Over 80,000 British, Australian and Indian troops became prisoners of war. Many suffered brutal treatment in Japanese captivity, including forced labor on the infamous Burma Railway. The fall shattered British prestige in Asia, emboldening anti-colonial movements in Malaya, India, and beyond. Japan solidified its dominance in Southeast Asia, strengthening its hold over its new empire. The fall of Singapore was a turning point in World War II and a symbol of Britain's declining imperial power. The rapid Japanese victory exposed critical weaknesses in British military strategy and changed the course of history in Asia, ultimately leading to the region's post-war independence movements.